Yo, 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 and welcome to Across the Hobby. I hope everybody's ready for a good week. I've started off well, had a good first game of basketball today. My calf's feeling good. I think I told you guys, hurt myself a little while ago, but I was feeling good today. Feeling really good. Got my Bluey shirt on, my Bluey dad shirt on. That's always a good thing. So excited to talk to you guys today about the biggest 30 to 40 items that sold last week and share some lessons. There's some really interesting lessons from last week, guys. Some really interesting lessons, as well as the core of this episode, as always, will be to look at the biggest items from this week. I've got about 200 to 300 items lined up this week, and we're going to try to get through all of it here in about the next 75 to 90 minutes. So let's roll, and let's start off with the biggest sales from last week. And let's go over here. Okay, cool. So we're going to start out with Heritage. So I pulled up about 7 or 8 items here at Heritage, and we're going to start off with the story of the week. And it's not actually a story that a lot of people are feeling really good about. So this is the Babe Ruth 1914 Baltimore News card. And I'm going to dive into this one here pretty deep here in the middle of this episode when I talk about some of the lessons. But you can see a $4 million sale seems incredible, right? Let's talk about that a little bit more and what massive lessons we can learn from it. But moving along, the next big Babe Ruth card of the week is this autograph, PSA 2, 7 grade on the auto. The 1933 Gaudi number 144 full Ruth stance. And it's the first big-time PSA DNA Ruth card we've seen sell in a while. I had several friends who were really interested to see what this one would go for. I believe there is another Ruth autograph that will be coming to auction. At least previously was discussed that it was coming to auction, and an auction house even said that it was coming to auction, but we haven't heard about it in a little while. So I'm thinking maybe somebody backed out. What I do know is this card just sold for, as you can see here at the top, almost $600,000. And I was not shocked about this. We've seen incredible movement toward the world of high-end autographed vintage cards. And it doesn't get much better than this. Now, what's interesting, and I'll just compare these two here with you guys real quick. So the question that I asked several people is, what would you rather have? This Michael Jordan or this Babe Ruth? Now, you guys know I am a basketball guy through and through, and I love this card. Love this card. This card sold, and we also saw last week, Golden reported that a PSA 9 86 Fleer with a blue autograph sold for $2 million. Me being very honest here, I think this is a better card than that Fleer card is. I do. I think this card is a far better card than that Fleer card is. I asked the question to see what the community thought. The community, I didn't say here's what I think. What do you think? I just said, what do you guys think? The vast majority of people agreed, and not that I tried to sway them. The vast majority of people agreed that this star is a better card, and it's because the star is a rarer card. A 6 in this card is harder to find than a 9 is on the 86 Fleer. But most importantly, and I think that this will bear out over time, when an autograph was signed more toward the period of when the card was made, that is something that people really like. So this card aesthetically is awesome. I would say the autograph on the card is awesome. It's been long discussed that the star is not as nearly as good a looking card as the 86 Fleer, and I understand why people feel that way. I'm not pro 86 Fleer or star. I know there's a lot of people who talk about these things and have big opinions. I don't have the biggest opinion, but what I know is that this one was made first and it's rarer. And what I really love about this copy is when the autograph was signed. So I love this card. It was one of my favorite cards of the whole week. Sold for $439,000. Obviously, a tremendous amount of money. I'd love a card like this in my collection, but I think those days are past. But with that said, I think this Babe Ruth is a lot nicer card. Sold for about 30% more, or 20 something percent more, and so that's not not too shocking. But Babe Ruth just does not have a lot of these types of assets in existence, and so to me that was one of the cards of the week. All right, and then moving down the line on Heritage here, the other card of the week that you'll see discussed a lot is this Luke Skywalker. a card that is a very low population card. I heard one person say it was pop 9 and another said pop 10. Yes, it is a pop 9. There are only 9 PSA 10s of this card in the world. Not a rare card. You can go find out a copy of go find a copy of this card in lower grade for a few $100. But when it's a PSA 10 and there's only 9 of them in existence, you get $268,000, which I believe is 3 times as much as this card has ever sold for. Really an incredible sell at Heritage. And then the Gehrig. That's right. 1933 Goudey, his most iconic card with the autograph. There's very few of them in existence. A card that, to be honest, I think should be worth a lot more. People would say, well, it's only a 1 or it only has an 8 autograph. Look, one of the lasting memories or lasting images or videos in the history of sports is today I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth. And the reason that we know that video so well is because Gehrig didn't have very long to live. He had ALS, or what we've always called as Lou Gehrig's disease, and obviously named after him. And so to see, a guy who passed away so long ago with original card autographs like this, and very few of them, I think it's a good deal. I do. This is not the world that I live in as far as like vintage autographs, but I would much rather have this than a lot of stuff that's selling for a ton right now. So congrats to whoever got that. And then another one of the items of the week, one of the original penny dolls, props that was used. There's details about this one as to like there's several different penny dolls. So there's not just one of them, but it is the original. Like this is the original penny doll that was used in various types of ads, and $64,000 on that. I know there's a lot of 90s basketball guys who follow this show, so I wanted to show you guys that one. And another sell from Heritage that really stood out to me. So this is an SP Game Used autograph, special significance gold. It's numbered to 10. It's Jordan in a Wizards uniform. And I know it's got a 10 autograph or a 10 on the card and 9 on the autograph, whatever. The thing that's the story to me is it's a Jordan Wizards autograph. It's a Jordan Wizards autograph. It's a great looking autograph. It's got a lot going for it. It did 40 grand. Really healthy number for a Jordan's Wizards autograph. Not sure if it's a record, but it might be one that I might want to look up and see if that's accurate. Okay, so that's going to do it for Heritage. A lot of big items at Heritage that we needed to focus on. Now, we're going to take a little bit more time on Fanatics Collect because there were just so many 6-figure items, and I think we need to spend some time. But by the way, to those of you who, Jeremy and I, we did a full 5 hours on Sports Cards Live. And we had so many people in the chat, so many people who were bidders in the chat, sellers in the chat. It was awesome. So to those of you who joined us, I would say, as I always do, thank you for joining us. And to those of you who didn't, like, if Thursday night of the premiere is just a party, it's so much fun. So I've already talked about a lot of these cards, but not in this setting and not how we feel about the sell. And now that we've had a few days for it to settle, I'm going to take just a few minutes to go through these. So the card of the night was this MJ Emblems of endorsements. One of the biggest exquisite patch autos ever, really unique card with the gold autograph, does $810,000. And other than Logoman autographs, this is basically the peak of what we've seen to this point. There are a few cards that have sold for a little bit more. Notably, there was a number pieces from 03. It was a PSA 1010, I believe, that sold for quite a bit more. But I think that was a private sale. As far as auctions go, as far as solo MJs go, this is about as good as it gets. Yes, there are some one-of-ones out of exquisite. I think there's 5 or 6 across all years. But other than that, this is basically it at 810. You'll notice the eye appeal sticker here. Fanatics Collect changing some things, and we'll get into why that's interesting here a little bit lower on. This isn't the card that I would have thought of as an eye appeal candidate necessarily. It makes you wonder, are they looking at the patch? Are they looking at the autograph? Are they looking at the combinations of those things? Or is it just about centering like eye appeal is largely about? Would love to chat with my friend Ryan Tedmus about this one and would like to do that in the near future, because I do think as people sort of stratify the different types of modern cards into different, different groups, the eye appeal sticker is going to be interesting. See the Jeter, very rarely see it sell in a PSA 10, 408 grand. Okay, another one of the most interesting sells of the whole week. So this Steph Curry here has so many things that we could talk about it. And the thing that most people are going to highlight is, wow, they put the number 6 upside down. The Bill Russell patch is on there upside down, and it's still sold for $372,000. So we start there. Despite the fact that this card clearly has an error, and that is that the patch is upside down, this Steph Curry card was still capable of selling for close to $400,000. I think that says a lot about the Steph market. I think it says I think it says a lot about the rare Steph market. I don't think people know. How do I say this? I don't think the broader hobby understands how crazy the big time rare Steph collectors are. And this is a reminder of that. And so is this card that's over here. What's interesting about this Steph that's over here that you can't see because my big head's in the way is that this card sold for significantly less than LeBron did from the same set. LeBron from the same set did 400 and something $1,000. I think the LeBron from this set's a lot better looking card, but Steph's really climbed and gone head to head with LeBron. And I don't think that there's a notable difference anymore. I don't. On like cards. I think they seem similar, and there's a lot of times where Steph outsells LeBron. So seeing this happen was kind of surprising, but kind of not, because the LeBron is such a better looking card. And then in the card in the middle was my favorite card of the whole auction. The Shohei with the autograph in kanji, the bat barrel in kanji, 1 of 1. It's just hard to imagine more out of an autograph bat card of Shohei. Moving on, another card that we're going to talk about here in a few minutes as far as lessons of the week that are really interesting, but just a big number, almost $300,000 for this Rookie of the Year, one of the original 3 1984 star autographs. This is a big card in this grade, even without the autograph. With the autograph, it's really significant. The biggest Eminence sale ever. Interesting to me as somebody who loves Eminence. Not a basketball card, though. A soccer card, a game-used Messi autograph patch. The Manning of the night, for sure. Beat PSA 9 in a really old holder, which is a great thing on this card. Why? Because there's cards from this set that have been cut from, not necessarily this specific set, but there's other credentials that have been cut from uncut sheets in the last few years. But this card's been in a slab for a really long time. Why does that matter? It means that this card came out of a pack. It's more likely to have come out of a pack than probably any Peyton Manning credentials card in existence. And it's 1 of 7 on the future. Just amazing. 174 grand on that. One of my other favorite cards of the night is this Michael Jordan. I was a bridesmaid on one of these couple of auctions ago, and it was around 60 grand. So I obviously missed the boat on that. I've always wanted one of these. It's the first big shoe autograph. I think it's one of the best looking Michael Jordan autograph mem cards ever. There's only 23 of them, and it's just wonderful at 162 grand. PSA 10 on the Bowman Chrome Gold is the big driver price here at $174,000. And I clicked the button that I wasn't supposed to click. And then the triple logo man of Tim Duncan, Yao Ming, and Shaq does $156,000. Maybe Scottie Pippen's best card in existence, $150,000 in a PSA 8. People say, oh, well, it's probably not that. It's maybe the green. It's probably one of those two cards. $150,000. MJ LeBron Gold. You'll see a similar card in silver in a little bit. This one did $144,000. $138,000 for an MJ Platinum Portraits. Why? Because it's PSA 10. You can find a really nice copy of this card for about $7,000 to $10,000 in a lower grade. And frankly, some of those lower grades look almost as nice as a PSA 10. But the PSA 10 is the driver there. And the thing that blows my mind about that is it actually catapulted it over maybe the nicest Playmakers Theater card I've ever seen. I just want to be clear. This is a really, really nice MJ insert, like maybe the best clear metal insert. This is one of the best Michael Jordan inserts of all time. But because of the PSA 10, because of that grade, it is worth so much. I mean, it's worth more than even like the Playmakers Theater. Just mind-blowing, mind-boggling to me. People just really, really care about that PSA 10 so much. And I'm not speaking down to that, to be clear. It's just, it's interesting to see. I did a reel on this bat knob for Acquire, and was really interesting to see what it did. It jumped from like 30 grand to $132,000 in the last few hours. And the Mahomes, the first off the line, the Stars and Stripes, numbered out of 13, did 138,000. Note, we are still on the first page. We are well over six figures still. This is sort of letting you know where we're at now with these premier auctions. Just huge. The Ronaldo, one of the nicest patch autos of Ronaldo in existence, maybe the nicest, 132,000. The Steph Chrome Refractor, another lesson learned from this week, 132,000. I keep accidentally clicking on things. Sorry for being annoying. And then the Luka Doncic NTRPA in a BGS 9.5 with 10 autographed at $132,000. An 86-87 Fleer box, 120 grand. A BGS 9.5 Messi, 120 grand. And probably my favorite Kaboom is somebody who doesn't love Kaboom cards. The gold Scream Steph Curry, $117,000. Okay, we're still well into the six figures, all the way in. Amazing stuff. We're going to go to the next page where we get this Logo Man of LeBron James, one of one Logo Man, a very special Logo Man from, I believe it's from a Christmas Day game. Yes, it says down below, but it is in a booklet. Not everybody loves booklets. Makes you wonder what this card would have sold for if it wasn't a booklet. Still, very awesome LeBron, $117,000. And then one of the most interesting Kobe Bryant Chrome Refractors that you'll see. This is, there's a lot of things I could tell you guys about this card, but I'll keep this short and just say this is one of the best copies as far as greening goes that we've seen sell in a while. And it did $117,000. Now, what I'd like to do with you guys real quick, and this might be really interesting for some, maybe not as for others, I'd actually like to, you know what? That's right. We got to get to that. I'm gonna skip it. There's lots to learn about this card, but congrats to the buyer and to the seller. $117,000, pretty minimal greening. It's still there, but it's more minimal. An interesting card to look at. And then $117,000 for the LeBron Kobe tribute dunk, as we call it, the 2020 Prism Gold, one of the top 4 or 5 most iconic Prism cards of the whole Prism era. $117,000 on that. $111,000 on a sticker triple autograph for these three. Really an impressive number in my opinion. 108 grand on the Messi in a PSA 9. The Shohei Green batting auto, 105. And we're still well into the six figures. Kobe Bryant limited logos, 102,000. I shouldn't say well into. And then, gosh, this is an interesting comparison right here. 2 Kobe's finished us off at over 100,000. The limited logos versus one of his best gold refractors. The gold refractor is numbered to 25. It is a pop 1. The limited logos is BGS 8.5. It's a really solid patch, a great autograph. This is a solid copy of one of Kobe's most iconic cards from the era, and I would argue probably his best known exquisite card. Which of these 2 cards would you rather have? Give me the exquisite. I love the gold refractor, but man, and I know this is where I show my colors a little bit. I love gold refractors. Some of my best cards are gold refractors, but I do really love this card. Maybe I have something against finest gold refractors. Maybe I do. Okay, was there one more that I wanted to show you guys? Big sell on this Jordan autograph right here. Kind of a beat by the light. Autograph still at $84,000. And this Kobe Bryant sold for $75,000. We've seen it sell several times recently. But that's it. Those are the big sales for the week. And then we want to talk about just a few more individual things, a few more lessons. So this Kobe Bryant was reported by Secure as having sold for $2.4 million. Lots of talk afterwards, and we are very much a hobby that likes to sort of like pile onto things. I don't want to say group think, but like, and because there's nothing wrong with calling something out when you see something and you're like, I'm not so sure that's right. But it seemed like everybody I heard talked about, oh man, there's no way this card's worth even more than $100,000. To be very clear, this card is certainly worth more than $100,000. There's 2 things that this card has going for it that people need to understand. Number one is that the patch is believed to be from the finals logo. And that's something that people really care about. It's one of the most interesting patches that you're going to find on this card. I didn't know that they had finals patches on these cards. To me, when I see that, my first thought is honestly, I need to confirm that this patch is real. But let's just say that this patch has been confirmed as real, that there's a lot of these that's well known that was a finals jersey that was cut up to create this card. And my guess is that I'm guessing that Secure has done the research on this, and the other people are well aware that this is real. And that's really all you need to know. But the second part is crucial, okay? And it is that this is a jersey numbered card, and it seems that for that reason, Kobe also took it as an opportunity to inscribe the card. Now, I can't read it exactly, and that's probably my bad, but it looks like he has his typical signature, and then it says something MVP. I don't know if it says the year. I don't know what it says exactly, but it says MVP, and maybe I'm just being dumb and I can't read it for some reason. But you're talking about some massive things here. One of the best patches on a jersey numbered card with an inscription for a limited logos Kobe Bryant. It certainly has a case for being one of the best limited logos Kobe Bryant cards in the world, and maybe the best limited logos Kobe Bryant card in the world. It's interesting that it's not graded. I would guess that Secure will probably get it into a holder here pretty soon. But people were immediately like, this is insane. There's no way this card should be worth anything near this. And to be frank, it's a lot higher than the number that I would have guessed. But if I would have sat and actually looked at all the details and you were to say, hey, Adam, do you think that this is $1 million card? I would have really not known what to say about that. And I know that people are going to be like, you're just saying that because you own big Kobe cards, Adam. You're just saying that because you know big Kobe's. Maybe, but I also have had a lot of really big offers on big Kobe cards. And so I am not, I am surprised at 2.4 million. I wouldn't have been that surprised at seven figures. People saying things like, this is $100,000 card. They don't know what they're talking about. Sorry, they don't. They don't. I've had six-figure offers on Kobe Bryant cards that aren't in the same vicinity of this. I'm just being real. So take that with a grain of salt. It's just my experience, but I am telling you definitively, and you can take this to the bank. I have had many six-figure offers. I'm not going to tell you too much. I've had many. I don't want to say too much. I've had many six-figure offers on many cards that are not in the same vicinity as this card. Okay, I've said enough about that. Okay, so now let's go to a few other lessons of the week. Okay, so I wanted to share 2 lessons of the week, and I've got these pulled up on my Instagram. You see, these posts, I love doing these posts. They're quick for me to do, and they tell a real story. So I mentioned this MJ, and then we'll get to the Ruth. We'll get to the Ruth here in a second. But we'll do this as a Steph lesson and then the Ruth lesson, and then we'll get to the big auctions of this week, and we'll go through these quick. So you can see these 2 cards here. They're identical in terms of their grade by Beckett. One's autographed, one's not. And remember, these are cards that were autographed by somebody well after the fact. This is years and years before cards were autographed in a pack. So I think you guys are aware. The one on the right was signed in person at some point by Michael Jordan. It's been authenticated by Beckett and assessed a 7 grade. The autograph's not perfect. It sort of makes sense that it's a 7. And it sold just a few weeks after this regular BGS 8 sold. And so I talked about, not on this show, but in a live that I did on Instagram, about the PSA 9 with 10 autograph that sold for $2.4 million. The question when you see something like this is, wow, how much did the autograph add to the card? And in this case, you can see at the top, the autograph adds $263,000 to the current value of these 2 cards. Feels like a lot to me. There's 2 different ways you can think about this. It's one simple autograph added $263,000. That's insane. And I sort of lean that direction, just being me. The other perspective, and I have friends who feel this, and I am not saying that they're wrong in the slightest. Michael Jordan's the most collected athlete ever. This is one of his first 3 cards that were ever made. There's only a few of these autographs in existence, and that is the key. That is the other way that it's thought about. It's not thought about in terms of it's a really cool card that had an autograph added to it. It's thought about it in terms of what's the true population of this unbelievable card that has been autographed. And is he going to sign anymore? And is that if there's only say 4, I think I had somebody tell me there's like only 4 of these in existence. There's only 4 Michael Jordan autographs of his Rookie of the Year star card. What's that worth? That's how some people are thinking about it. Okay. And so again, when I post these things, I am never saying, hey, this is what you need to believe. I'm saying, what do you think? Just what do you think? And it's really interesting to think about, to think about some of these things. Okay. So there's lesson number 1. We're gonna do the Steph lesson, and then we're gonna do the Ruth. So, better Steph. Topps Gold versus Topps Chrome Refractor. So we have Topps versus Topps Chrome. Obviously, they were the same product. You can see on the slab that it says Topps Chrome and Topps that came out of the same product. Okay. The Chrome Refractor is numbered to 500. The Topps Gold is numbered to 2009, as you can see written down below. But the population is not what you would think. The population, you would expect the Gold to be a lot higher population than the Chrome Refractor because there's 4 times as many cards. There's over 4 times as many cards, but there are less 10s. And there have been way more Golds graded than there have Chrome Refractors. So this is a tough gem rate. But people did not look at that in terms of people on these 2 sales, at least, aren't looking at the pop for being the price driver. They're looking more at the card. If I was to ask you straight up, what would you rather have, a Topps Gold or a Chrome Refractor? Every person in the world would say a Chrome Refractor. It's numbered to less. It's shiny. Shiny maybe is less important to some people. That's sort of arguable, but like numbered way less, I think a lot of people I think everybody cares about that. But as far as population goes, no. The Gold is rare. And the Gold is interesting in that it sort of is this color match for the Warriors. Sold at the same time on the same auction. And the Chrome Refractor sells for almost twice as much, even though it has almost 50% higher population. Really an interesting lesson. And if you read the comments here, everybody is like, dude, this is the Refractor. It should be the Refractor, and it's not even close. This guy right here says that's the old price. Says Chrome is lower print run and a better product. And I think what he means by better product is it's like it's a better thing that's been made. Again, they're out of the same product. Like the end product is better. Don't let subjective pop counts fool you into inferior card. Now look at this conversation. I asked him I asked him a question here, and I don't know where it went. It didn't show up here. Sorry. I wrote, at what pop difference would it flip? And this is the question that I asked in a later live. And I love this thought exercise. The thought exercise is, if all 500 Chrome Refractors were in PSA 10 grade, and if the Gold was a pop 1, would it switch then? Would you rather have the Topps Gold then? I think almost everybody would be like, well, yeah. I mean, at that point, like 500 Chrome Refractors, PSA 10, wow, that's a lot. And man, there's only one Topps Gold. Yeah, of course you'd take the Topps Gold. Even though the Topps Gold is numbered higher, you would take it because it was so much lower on the population. So the question that I would challenge you with, at what point would you switch? Assuming that you go over the Chrome Refractor like the majority of people, at what point in the population difference would you change? Right now it's 20 to 29. What if the Chrome Refractors increase and the Topps doesn't? I don't think this will happen. But what if the Topps Chrome or Topps stays at 20 and the Topps Chrome moves to 50? Does it change then? What if the Topps Chrome goes to 100? Does it change then? It's really an interesting thought exercise, and I would challenge you to make your own determination on these types of things. Don't just follow comps. That's what everybody does. It doesn't do any good to just be a comp follower. Don't be a comp follower. Be somebody who figures out what you like and what you think is my best advice for you. Do I think that this is better? Develop your own opinion. Don't just talk to people who think that they're smart. Who cares what smart people think? Who cares what people think that everybody thinks is smart? That does not matter. The only thing that matters is what you really think. And if you really believe that the Topps Gold is a better card, then you should buy it over the Chrome Refractor. That's what I think. You're gonna miss out on some things in the process, but you just don't chase FOMO, guys. Do not chase FOMO. Okay, and then the last lesson of the week before we get to big auctions. Wow, so interesting. You're gonna hear a lot of people talk about this. we had I remember this sell super well back in December of 2023, when the Ruth in an SGC3 sold for $7.2 million, and then sold this weekend for $4 million. And people were saying it's the single largest loss ever on a card. It's over $3 million loss. And after you include fees and stuff like that, it's going to be well over $3 million. It might be like $3.4 million or something, $3.5 million loss. And so, how do we think about this? What are the lessons that we can draw from this sale or this group of sales? I guess there's several different things that we can point to. But the thing that stands out most to me, the biggest lesson that I learned here is, and I'm going to speak from a general perspective and then move into something that's I think more interesting. The general perspective here is that cards are not stock. Cards, you can't move cards you can't think of cards like you think of stock. You can't think of this type of card, especially as you think of a stock. And what do I mean by that? Because somebody might say, well, Adam, almost 2 years went by. That's not a short amount of time. Yeah, but the last time we saw this card move, it was this copy. This isn't a fresh to market copy. This is a copy that moved 2 years ago. And so the individual, and I don't know the individual, but the individual who bought this, who paid $7.2 million to less than 2 years later be the next person to sell this card. No one else has sold it. And to go out and just be like, all right, let's see what we can get for it now. It created a great buying opportunity. I talk about this all the time. My best card in my collection, the reason that I got the reason that I was able to possibly be able to get it was because it was sold. And then a few months later, it was sold again. And it's a one of one. When you have a situation where a known and existing copy, and people know that it exists, they want it, when it sells and then it sells relatively shortly later, it is the best thing for buying in the whole world, especially as a long-term collector. I'm a long-term collector. I don't even know how long I've owned the Kobe now. Have I owned it for 2 years, 2.5 years? I can tell you this much: it's worth a lot more than what I paid for it. Okay, it's worth a lot more, even though it's in fairly short succession, a similar amount of time as this. And the reason is, I think part of the reason is that people know I'm not going to go out and sell it. They know that. If you are somebody who buys a massive card and everybody knows about that massive buy, and then you're like, I'm going to sell it, not that much longer. This is a 10-year card. This isn't a 2-year card. So this is not stock. It's not real estate. It is collectibles. And you've got to get a good sense on those things or you can lose a ton, guys. And I feel bad for this person who lost this much. I mean, that's a lot of money. Some people can afford it. It's just incredible. So obviously some incredible learnings there. Hope you guys enjoyed that. All right, we're 33 minutes in and we're going to now hit the main point of this show, right? The main point, if this is the first time you've ever downloaded this before. And by the way, thank you for all the new people who are watching. Appreciate you. Please like, subscribe, do all that stuff. It makes a huge difference. But what we're going to do now, and this is what I do every week so I think most of you guys know, for my full-time gig, what I do is I make content for auction houses, for other hobby entities. And so I'm always looking for what stories are most interesting. I don't always verbalize them as I go through them here, but I always basically take Monday and look through the biggest items that are ending and say to myself, okay, what are the big things that I need to be hitting on during the course of this week? I'm a reel maker. I make a lot of reels for big cards that are at auction and things like that. So, and again, I do that on behalf of the auction houses and the eBay consignment companies. So with that said, we're going to go through the following. We're going to go through MC Sports cards. We're going to go through hoodies. Both of those eBay consigners have huge items this week. A few very interesting cards, and I haven't even looked at most of them. We're going to look at Golden. Now, Golden has their weekly auction, but more importantly, they have their elite auction. And we'll take not a ton of time, but we'll take a little bit of time on that. But I would definitely recommend looking at all of those. We're going to look at the Fanatics Collect weekly auction. We're going to look at alt briefly, and then we're going to look at hoodies. Hoodies. My bad. I already said hoodies. We're going to look at Card Hobby, their first page. So in all, it's going to be about 300 items that we scan past. Some of them are going to be super quick. I'm not even going to say it. You're going to just have to be watching. But most of them I'll mention, and some of them we'll do some deep dives on. The feedback that I continue to get from you guys is you love stories. You love hearing like some weird thing that happened to me back when I worked at the card shop 27 years ago or something. And you love like the super random things about cards that people might not know. So I'm going to try to focus on some of those types of things. And that's what I'm finding that you guys are generally liking. But at the same time, I want to balance it where I'm also saying, guys, these are all these big items that are up and I want to hit them really well. So without further ado, let's jump into MC Sports Cards. And as a reminder, MC Sports Cards has every single week that, well, I shouldn't say every single week because they have to take off sometimes for vacations or holidays or whatever. But MC Sports Cards has almost every week. They're MC Mondays, which at this point, guys, has like $100,000 and over cards that are all ending at auction. It's an incredible business that they're running right now. Okay. So let's jump in right now to that at the beginning. I'm going to start off with an MJ Star, right? The best of the new, which is from 1986, 87 Star. I thought it was 85, 86, but I must be wrong about that. BGS 8, really strong copy. I love the blue, love the jump shot over Kelly Tripucka, and looks like Bill Lambier. Very cool card. Now, this Kobe right here jumps out to me, and I go, I've sort of gotten a little bit lost in what shiny cards matter to people. This is a BGS 10, and it's numbered 99, but I didn't know that a purple select at this point was like a $2,000 card. So I haven't been watching carefully enough, I guess. Another Michael Jordan star card. Again, this one's from 85. This one's also a BGS 8, and it's the Miller Lite All-Stars card. That's $1,624 on that one. Another Jordan. This is a card that I actually own. Mine is not graded. I'm waiting for the day that PSA can grade these. This is an MJ only set. They made 10 cards in the set. And this one's an 8.5, which is a nice, strong grade. But the story on this card, just going to be real. The story on this card is, when will PSA open their doors to these last remaining star sets? Maybe they already have, and I missed it in the last couple months, but if they have, it hasn't been very long. Another Kobe shiny card. This is from Pristine. So this is where I'm just so different from other people. This card's numbered 149. It's a BGS 10, but it's from the Topps days. They just didn't make very many cards. There's not as many cards from 2003 Topps Pristine. He's still wearing the number 8. It's at $2,500. This one's at almost $2,500, and it's numbered to 99. I would by many miles prefer this card. I just would. And I wonder if in the hobby, people are like, I don't care about what's earlier, or I just care about like Prism, or it just matters what it's numbered out of. But the story here, with how few parallels there are, how few number of years they made Pristine, that he's still wearing the number 8. Like, I just think it's a vastly better card than this one is. But again, what do I know? What do I know? Derek Jeter, PSA 10, 1999. So in the 90s, gold refractor. This is the Topps finest sterling gold gold refractor, numbered out of 100, $310. One of my favorite Luka autographed jersey rookie cards. It's not an autograph patch. It's an autographed jersey. And just, I don't want to shame anyone else, because hardly anybody else does this at this point, but like a little applause for MC Sports Cards, who called this a jersey. This is a jersey card. So many people have sort of gone away from that, and they just include the word patch on it. Nothing against that. I understand a little bit why they do that. It helps sort of make things consistent. And the vernacular today is, a lot of people don't know the difference between jersey and patch cards. This is a jersey card. The prime, as Panini calls it, is a patch card. Either way, though, this is a Luka rookie autograph memorabilia card. It's from one of the brands of the era. The Silo or Silhouette cards are just beloved. There's only 199 of them, and today it's under $1,000. I just think that's a deal. It's an authentic holder with a 10 autograph, so make sure there's no like real weird things going on it, but I love that card. The Z-Force Slam Cam, $985. One of the better looking MJs for the price that's out there. It's a PSA 10 too. Ken Griffey Jr. I've never known how to say this word. Somebody can help me know how to say it. It's like chirography or something. I should know. I have no idea. I've never heard anyone say it, and I thought to myself, that's the right way to say that. I don't have a clue. $2,300. PSA 7 on the Irving rookie. A very early jersey of Ken Griffey Jr. in a PSA 10. Boy, that's the story there. PSA 10 Pop 9. It's really an interesting card. These low pop cards of like important jersey sets that you rarely see, they're an interesting play in my mind over the long term, because I think people are going to come back to the jerseys at some point and they're going to go, gosh, we're paying such crazy money for these inserts. What about the first jerseys? Because at the end of the day, that's what they were, is early inserts. They're rare. They're rare in they're rare in this sort of condition. And Ken Griffey Jr. wore that as he played. An Eminence card from 2021 Eminence, KG and Paul Pierce. This is a KG jersey numbered card. It's numbered 5 of 5. Very cool dual autograph of the pair. Jane Daniels Downtown, Slick Silver, Ty Cobb Red, an MJ Competitive Advantage. Really nice Hank Aaron at PSA 5. New Heights MJ, Jalen Wells. Jalen Wells had a good rookie year. I love this Radiance Jordan here, though. I do want to highlight this for a sec. So, in my opinion, in fact, I'm going to make this bigger, and I'll talk about it here in a little bit. We'll highlight maybe 3 or 4 cards as we go through, and we really look closely at all these cards. Oh, interesting Eminence card here. Numbered 1 out of 3. This does not look like Eminence to me. Most Eminence cards you look at and you know immediately. This one took me a second. Like, what is that? I like it. I think it looks really good. Didn't know it was Eminence, though, at all. So, yeah, we're going to highlight 2 or 3 cards as we go through here. Oh, I love this Magic, and I love this Wilt Chamberlain. Saw another one of these sell pretty recently. PSA 9, one of the best looking vintage basketball cards ever. Same thing with the Jabbar here. This one's a lower pop, I believe, than the Wilt. This Larry Bird. Oh, this is 2006. I think this is the same design. Is this the same design as they use in 09? It's super short printed. I thought that was it at first. Great looking patch here. Remember that the Celtics patches, unless it's like from a warm up, they only had 2 colors. So to get a bend in the middle here, about as good as it gets, honestly. Pretty cool patch. Irving with an autograph and a PSA 6. Several autographed rookies. You can see here's another Abdul Jabbar. Oscar Robertson in action, PSA 8. Tiger Woods 2014 SP Authentic limited jersey patch autograph numbered out of 100. LeBron early autograph out of Premier. I love this Ichiro. I always love this Ichiro. This is just a rookie refractor. Is $888. Another MJ Competitive Advantage. Love this Vince Carter right here. This is a great looking card in hand. The class of 98, numbered out of 500, back when numbered cards were really tough. PSA 8 on the Steph Gold that we were talking about earlier, $6,100 on that. Remember that a 10 just sold for 70-something thousand. So at this point, you're saving 90% by going with an 8. There's only 2009 of them. This is a really cool card. Kobe's first jersey card. Kobe did not have a jersey card in 97. And it's really, like I said, it's a travesty because he should have been in the set. He was there. People knew that he was popular. He could have been in it. You could have been able to pair that wonderful design of MJ in an all-star jersey and then Kobe. But for whatever reason, they couldn't get a jersey in time or whatever. So that makes this 98 his first jersey. There are 2 Kobes in the set. I believe this is the first one. Double check me. I don't know that it matters one way or another. Love this Tim Duncan. Ooh, Pop 4, PSA 10. That one's sneaky card to watch tonight. Super sneaky. And then a card that's literally on my watch list. Tariq Abdul-Wahab. This guy was legit. I had his Chrome Refractor rookie for a time. I thought I remembered him being a rookie in 98, so I missed that. He was a rookie in 97. This is his masterpiece, his Row Zero masterpiece. Why does that matter? Guys, in 1997, there were 2 sets with 1 of 1s. 2. This and Ultra. So Tariq Abdul-Wahab has 4 1 of 1s in Showcase and 1 in Ultra. And maybe there's 2 in Ultra. I think there's just 1 in Ultra for Tariq Abdul-Wahab. So it's one of his first 5 1 of 1s ever. Now you might say, why do I even care? I don't even care who that guy is. Neither does the person who's going to buy this. This is 100% a set collecting purchase. I shouldn't say 100%. I should say it's like an 80% select collecting purchase because he was liked a lot. I think, did he play for Sacramento? think he played for Sacramento. I want to look at that more carefully. I ask that because there's some crazy Sacramento collectors out there. This Giannis Eminence looks amazing. His autograph sucks, unfortunately, but like look at the rest of the card. Freaking awesome. I shouldn't say it sucks. It's not as good as you want it to be. Okay. Ovechkin autograph patch out of Contenders. Dirk Nowitzki, PSA 10 Chrome Gold. Love this Jordan. Not the toughest PSA 10, but what is that? Oh, 2007 Chrome Superfractor. Now, I don't know my football as well. I don't know who Dwayne Bowie is. I don't know who that guy is. But I do know that's a very early Chrome Superfractor. That's interesting. See, this Giannis autograph is so much better. It's interesting, too, because it's still Eminence. I think it's even the same. Is it the same product? Oh, it was on the last page. No. Yeah, it's the same product. Look how much better he is here. Now, let's see if people have figured it out. Let's see. $530. $521. Man, I just think people are crazy. That's insane to me. Isn't this like 100 times better card? Isn't the autograph so much better? I'll tell you what, though. Look at this Derrick Rose. Whew. That card is smoking. What is this jersey? I wonder if we can find out anything on what that jersey is. We're going to look at that one. See if anything else jumps out to us. I mean, I'm telling you, this is every MC auction now. It's like dozens and dozens of crazy high-end cards. Look at this Buzelis. There was a huge Buzelis sale last week. I love this Tim Duncan, PSA 7 Strong. It's one of the best insert cards ever made. Rodman goes off card a little bit here, but it's still a cool card. Dalton Connect, Eminence rookie with a championship tag. That's pretty cool. Jason Kidd, the last year of the 90s Star Rubies at $700. And man, oh, cool. An 09 Tim Duncan, a variation on the base card, the game worn patch, number 10. Another cool Derrick Rose. And we're still just going on a normal MC Monday. I don't want to go too fast and just fly through everything, but like there's so much. 2012 Jason Witten. That's kind of cool. Drew Holiday. We're going to get to another big Drew Holiday card later in this auction. Maybe the best Drew Holiday card in the world is at auction right now. Holy crap, MC. We're on to the third page. Okay, so that's it. There's 2 full pages of stuff. Go check out MC. Another amazing MC Mondays. Okay. Oh, that's right. We're gonna look at 3 individual cards. So this Radiance is really interesting to me. It's obviously not a game use cards. We must say that. But like super rainbowy, like a refractor, not called a refractor because it's upper deck, but it basically refracts. Card's really thin. It's made of a neat like plasticky stock. It's numbered out of 299, and this copy's graded a 9. I had a friend working on the set. Don't know if he finished it. Maybe this is him selling it here, but I've always loved this set. If you want a really fun project, and I've said this for years, I've literally said this for 10 years, this set is fantastic because it's at a $299. You would think you could find every card. I don't know if you can find every card from this set at this point because I think player collectors love it. It's because from Upper Deck, they never gave us these aesthetics. And, now we're going on close to 20 years since the set came out. I think it's really interesting. So my question here was whether he was a member of the Kings at any point. It looks like at this point he's a member of the Kings. I thought that jersey almost looked like an Orlando Magic uniform, but I couldn't remember. I haven't thought about Tariq Abdul-Wahad in a long time, but this is his best showcase, 1 of 1. The only 1 of 1 that I would put over this is his Ultra 1 of 1, personally. And again, nobody's buying this because it's Tariq Abdul-Wahad. It's because of the set that it's from and how rarely, like, you might see like 4 or 5 of these a year sell at auction. It's not a very big number. A very small number from this set gets sold each year. This Derrick Rose, I wanted to see if I could figure out where this jersey's from. The enclosed, game worn, used material, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so he's a member of the Cavs on here. I guess that's probably a Cavs jersey. The patch is sweet. The autograph's amazing. It's numbered 1 out of 10, which is jersey numbered. This card's freaking awesome. I am not good with colors and picking things up perfectly, but I wonder what jersey this is from. And if you know, and if you love Derrick Rose, it's interesting. When did he retire? Was he still active last year? Is this a playing days card? Probably not. Probably already retired. Anyway, okay, so that is it for our for MC Monday. Oh man, took a while on MC. MC's tough because there's so much good stuff and it's ending tonight. And so I always feel some level of pressure to tell you guys about everything that's ending. Okay. I'm going to take just a minute and talk about hoodies, big auctions going on this week. It's not their monthly showcase or anything. You can see these two mangas at the top. Mangas are just crazy, right? Like people are in love with these mangas. And if you look at the details on the card, you sort of understand why they did some things to them. They're really interesting and different. There's some symbolism in the artwork, and they're fun. They're fun. And then there's this really cool Anthony Edwards out of Flawless. And then one of my cards of the week, and I didn't look closely at everything, but like I saw this one and my eyes got really big. Like, guys, that's the best or the second best Jrue Holiday card in the world. And it's just sitting at auction. I love these moments. They very rarely happen. Jrue Holiday is a two-time champ with two different teams. I don't know how many times he's made the All-Star game. I don't know how many like all defensive teams he's been on. He's had a very good career, but notably like a key member of multiple championship teams. And it's this in the Superfractor, and that's it as far as his best cards go. I have a good friend who's a big Jrue Holiday collector. I'm definitely going to message this to him just in case he didn't see it. Sometimes the popularity on cards like these is really high, and sometimes it's not. This is the sort of card that I wouldn't be surprised to see it sell for like $6,600, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it sell for like $25,000 or more. I have there's a guy who I know who has the Rudy Gobert logo and autograph, Mr. B's Collectibles. And he wants so much for it. It makes me like sad and, upset. No, he knows how much I want it, and I've been after it for over a decade. But like, he thinks of it more in terms of like the ultra, ultra high end. Like, dude, this is Rudy Gobert's best card. I think it's his single best card. And so he wants crazy, crazy money for it. I've never been willing to give it to him. We've been in a standstill for 10 years. He's clearly not going to sell it to anybody but me, because nobody's going to spend something insane on a Rudy Gobert card except for me. But it sort of reminds me of this card, because you just don't know. Like, is that a $30,000 card? Is it a $10,000 card? And sometimes people don't want to have a conversation about value, but this gives us something to look at. And for Jrue, again, it really is one of his best cards in the whole world. Okay, now we're going to jump into the Golden Elite auction, which is ending. And guys, it is crazy. This is certainly, as you look at the whole of the hobby this week, this is the biggest event of the week. Every time Golden does, I said Elite, this is the Legends auction. To me, they feel like the same thing. I don't know what the difference is between Legends and Elite, but they're both really big, giant auctions. So, and you can tell from right at the top, right? Right at the very top, and put my face on the other side so we can see. So we can see all these items as well as we want to. This LeBron is maybe the best LeBron Kaboom card in existence. It's the gold out of 10 from the first year of Kaboom Golds, and it's the 1 of 10, and it's in a Beckett 9.5 holder. The Kaboom guys are watching this one real carefully, because that's one of the cards of the set. But especially being this copy, it's one to watch today for sure. Shohei Orange. The last time we saw Shohei Orange move, it was really big deal, like a crazy Canva. What am I in? StreamYard does this thing where sometimes if you switch screens too quick, it will pause. And so I just started on Golden, and I believe I was on pause for like the last few minutes. I'll go back and delete the stuff that I need to, but I don't do a lot of editing on this, so I hope it's not super clunky. But thank you guys for your patience on that. So I'll say the things that I already said again, which are, number one, this Kaboom Gold is maybe the best Kaboom card in existence. Excuse me, maybe the best LeBron Kaboom card in existence. It's the 1 of 10 from the first year, which always matters, and it's a BGS 9.5. This is a card that I know several people have been after for a long time, and so seeing it up for auction is a big deal. But the more interesting card to me in this top row is this Shohei. The last time one of these Shoheis moved, I just looked a moment ago, was just last month, when a card in the same grade sold for $347,000. This one's got a long way to go, but Shohei is obviously like so hot. So that'll be fun to watch. And then, of course, Michael Jordan's first jersey autograph at $184,000. Okay, now let's talk about maybe the most interesting card for me, though, of the groups thus far. And you might be surprised when I say this because it feels like we see this 1980 Topps card a lot, especially signed. It's one of the most, it's probably the biggest autograph project in all of cards. People love doing this project, and it's not hard to see why. But I will tell you what's different here. It's not that it's really just a cool project. It's that this one's also a PSA 9 with 10 autograph. And if we, in fact, we're going to check. I'm going to check PSA on this one. I'm going to highlight this. And sometimes Golden takes a second to open these, and so I'll come back to it. But in a few minutes, I'm going to come check to see what the population is. This Shohei right here, one time Jeremy and I were covering an auction with this card, and both of us agreed this is one of the most, like, one of the nicest looking cards, modern cards that I've seen. And it's fantastic. So it's from 2018, which is the right year. Remember, all of the Shohei's biggest cards are from 2018. It's a 1/1. It's a superfractor, and it looks like 1952 Topps, and it's signed. It's one of the nicest looking Shohei cards ever. Now, my guess is, being that it's from Transcendent, that there's other 1/1s this year. There's other superfractors this year, and that is part of the reason why it's not just crazy, insane money. When I say crazy, insane, it's like in the six figures. And maybe it'll go mini six figures. I don't know. Maybe it's $1 million card now. Maybe I'm wrong. But what I will say definitively is I don't know that I've seen a nicer looking Shohei card. I love the big portrait. I love the superfractor background. I love the Topps just nailed the autograph here. I love that it's from 2018. It has got everything going for it. It's got everything going for it. I love this card. So there it is, sitting at $130-something thousand right now. I have a hard time doing the math because, remember, Golden has a 22% buyer's premium. And so you have to look at that on your own. Big case of Exquisite, big Luca, an orange Bowman Chrome, another orange Bowman Chrome. Wow, two in the same auction. This is the batting BGS 9. Probably will come in a little bit of a discount from the other one because it's a 9. That's definitely worth watching. A PSA 10 Kobe. Always, mind the green on that. Definitely look at the color very closely. LeBron Black from 2022 and a Messi from 2004 Mega Cracks. Oh, this is a big one too. 2018 Cristiano Ronaldo, the Power Prism, which is numbered out of 5. This one's a pop too. And then the PMG Gold from Michael Jordan. Very interesting. From 2024 Metal Universe Champions. This is the PMG Gold. I am very interested to see how Jordan collectors handle this, because that's a 1/1 PMG, and it's got this the iconic pose. It's still a card from 2024. So do people think about this being like, and it's still not licensed, right? Do people still think about this being like, the rarest Jordan PMG ever, and it goes like crazy money, like well into the six figures? Or do people look at it sort of more like niche, and does it go for like a really good deal? We'll be watching that very carefully. 2024, so not rookie year, but still a Kaboom Gold of the hottest player in the NBA right now, and Victor Wembanyama. Look at this Jordan, great card, but definitely very light on the autograph. It's faded quite a bit there. Still, it's an 03 limited logos Jordan within a far superior than average patch. It's a great piece. And my friend Jeremy says on cards like this, it's not a card that would be welcome in my collection. It is a card that very much be welcome in my collection. I love this card. I love it when you can get an elite card that has some problem that then makes it a lot cheaper. And this card, if the autograph was just blue, if the card had not been put out in the light so much, might be worth 3 or 4 or 5 times what it's worth because it's been left in the light. The fact that this was left in the light is going to give somebody a chance to own it that normally wouldn't. And I generally really like that. Blue Refractor of Shohei Ohtani, number to 150. A lot of people love that card. That's $55,000, $56,000 on a Jordan sticker autograph, $49,000 on the Joe Montana and a PSA 10. Man, Kobe Flawless stuff has sort of reached a point where I'm like, this is just crazy. I've never gotten any of it, but it's not that I don't like it. I do like it. I felt like it was overpriced when it was a lot less than it is. I felt like there were other cooler Kobe autographs out there for lesser prices, but joke's on me, because look at this. This thing's at like $60,000, almost $60,000 for a card that was made in his last playing days year. It's numbered to 25. I think this is about the same price as what one from the first year goes for. And I would take the one from the first year, both aesthetically and from the perspective of how important it was that Flawless was brand new at that point. Yeah. But who am I to say what things should be worth? I'm I believe different things than other people do. 2018 Dynasty. This is the Shohei autograph patch. They call it a rookie card here, which makes sense because it's from 2018. It's very cool. It's top, so it's licensed. And it's a PSA 10 too, with a nice patch. Really interesting. The autograph looks like it's on card. Okay, another one of the most interesting cards of the week's in this row. And it's another question having to do with light. So I'm going to look at that one too. We're going to highlight that one. And then one of the best Bryce Harper cards in the world. This is his jersey number, red. So red's already a big deal, but the fact that it's jersey numbered makes it extra big deal. $43,000 pre-buyer's premium. We're going to do one more page for Golden. Oh, cool. I'm going to get a nice comp on one of my best cards here. There's a Jordan Jambalaya 9.5 up. Haven't seen one of those in a while. In fact, let's do some research on that guy too. More for my benefit than for anybody else's, but I want to know how long it's been since we've seen one of those. Oh, an interesting Kobe MJ here too. We haven't seen that one, I don't think, in a long time. I'm not sure I've ever seen this one. So I want to look at that one, see how many of those there are. I want to look at this Victor Wembanyama right here. Another big one for me here. This Kobe Noir from the first year of Noir. You know what? Let's do one more page, and we're just going to highlight just a few cards. I'm a little bit low on time today, so we're going to do just a few more. Oh, why did it do that? Why did it do that? I'm not sure why the Golden Pages did that, but I'm going to take it as a sign to just keep going. So we're not going to look at the third page. We're just going to look at 2 pages from Golden, but the Legends auction's huge, so definitely got to check it out. Okay, so PSA 9 with 10 autograph. If you come over here, you can see the autographs. Bright, big blue autographs. Some people will say, I wish those autographs were thinner. What I like is they're consistent, and I think that's really underrated. Easy to see them. They're in the right places. They're graded a 10, as they should be. I think that's great. So what I want to do now is I'm going to just come into here and I'm going to type in, you can't see I'm going to bring it over in just a second. PSA website a few times lately has given me a little bit of a hard time. Let's see if it does what it's supposed to do this time. Okay, cool. So I'm going to bring this over here for you guys to see. It's nice as you can see the image right up top. That's great. 1980 top scoring leader. So this is a pop 11 and there is 0 higher. That's what I wanted to see. So this card, finding it at this point in a 9, basically impossible. And the question, of course, that you want to ask here is, well, what would you rather have? Would you rather have a PSA 10 or a PSA 9 with autograph? There's fewer 9s with autograph. I think there's 20-something 10s. It's not a huge number, but it's not like 10 or 5 or anything like that. I think it's 23 or 19 or 17 or something like that. There's fewer of this than there is 10s. What would I rather have? I'd rather have this. I want to say it. That's not going to be a popular thing, but I'd rather have this card than a PSA 10 on this card. So, whoa, I do not know what just happened there. Sorry about that. Okay, so that's a huge piece. Okay, I'm going to get the PSA thing out of the way, and we're going to come back here now. So we've looked at this. I do really like that card. We're going to look at this one. Okay, so these 3, we talk about these all the time, right? Every time one of these pops up, we say there's like 106 triple autographs of these guys ever. They're all on card. That's really rare. It's a big deal. They're the 3 most collected players ever. All 3 of the guys held this card in hand, blah, blah, blah. So you already know all that. I would say, from my perspective, there's only one triple that I like more than this of these guys, and it's the one from 2003. So it's LeBron's rookie year. So this is like just a phenomenal card. Now, it obviously has a problem, and the problem is that the autographs do not look like we want them to look. They are darker. They are faded. Isn't it funny that faded and darker are both right here? They are supposed to be blue, and they were once, and now they are not. But it is one of the cards, guys, and there's only 10 of them. Really an interesting piece. I mean, really interesting. $43,000. The autographs are still there. You still can tell what they are immediately. They're not. There was one auction last week that the autographs were so faded. They're so bad. This is not bad. This is far nicer than that. But they're not perfect. They're not blue. They don't look like they're supposed to look. I wonder what the last one sold for. Can we have a little card ladder moment here? We're going to have a little card ladder moment. So this is, what is it, 09? Is it 09? Yeah, 08. 08, sign of the times. So we're going to come up here. We're going to go 2008, sign, times, LeBron, Kobe, Jordan. So the last time one of these moved was probably the same card, wasn't it? It's got to be. It's got to be the same card. Because look at these blue ones over here. Back in 2022, Mr. Blue Awesomeness right here in an 8.5 sold for $300,000. I've been telling you guys for years and years, light is bad. And boy, if you want another better example of it, holy smokes, $300,000. Or in a BGS 8.5, $247,000. And then in December of last year, $75,000. It's graded at 9.5. Why is the one that's graded at 9.5 selling for so much less? You know the answer. I have people who will still argue me on this. I had a guy message me that not that long ago and say, I don't think you're right about these cards fading. I just think, I don't think it has anything to do with light. And I was like, okay, like you're wrong. And I'm not trying to be Mr. like jerk know-it-all guy, but you're wrong. Yeah, it's the same copy. So this same copy sold for $75,000 not quite a year ago. Might provide a buying opportunity. I always say that. It might be a buying opportunity, being that this is being listed right away again. It is one of their finest triple autographs. And obviously, we just wish that the color was different. Okay, another card ladder moment here. I want to look at the Jambalaya. So I'm going to go 1997. Jambalaya Jordan. BGS 9.5. And when we do that, boy, it's been almost a year since one sold. I thought it'd been a while. Oh, I read that wrong. It's June. It's not almost a year. It's 4 months. Strike that. I'm wrong. It's only 4 months ago. So this one, you can see from the white background, that's alt. It has been confirmed paid $48,000. And then Golden had one a month before that for $54,000. Then there was one before that for $43,000. And those are the only three this year. So I would say there's a general upward trend, but that wouldn't be true. 43, 54, 48. Now, the one that's 48, you can see from, although the images, let's see, if we blow it up, make it a little bit bigger, you're going to see it doesn't even have a single 10 subgrade, and it does have the 9.5 edges, which is pretty normal. This one's probably got a 10 subgrade. Yes, sir, with no 9s. Ooh, that was a great copy. So that makes a lot of sense why that one sold for 55. And then this one, yeah, so it is a general upward trend. This one I think is the same as mine. I think there's several of them that are like this, where it's like there's a 10 on corners or no corners, so that makes sense. And then there's a 9 on edges with 2 9.5s. So this is the same as mine. And I do think that there's a general, like saying that there's a general trend upwards, right? Because this card right here is a lesser card than this card is right here. This card right here is not as nice as far as subs as this card is right here. So a card that is in lesser condition sold for $48,000. So why am I belaboring this? Well, I think that it's interesting because this card is one of the lesser copies. Okay, it is. So the last, wait, I want it 665. Let's go back to card ladder, see if it's the same copy. Might be. Nope, it's not. So same subs. Last one sold for 48. Market's probably a little different than it was in June. If you had to guess, last one sold at 48. But it's a card that moves not super infrequently. I think this one probably gets another bid. It's at 48.8 right now after buyer's premium. I think this card's into the 50s. As a buyer, as an owner of this card, again, mine has better subs, but as an owner of this card, I'd like to see this one sell for closer to 60. That would make me feel good if it was a $60,000 card. If it goes for more than that, that would be better. Jordan's market's been so hot, but it's been on stuff that's generally less interesting to me. The PSA 10s of, brought, more available cards. Card like this, one in 720 packs, one in 10,800 packs. When you include the other players that are in there, so one in 10,800 just for this card. I would argue it's the most iconic insert ever made. Other people will tell you it's the Scoring Kings, and I think that's fine. A fine thing to say. I think this is a better known card than the Scoring Kings is at this point. It's the beginning of Jambalaya, and Jambalaya I think is really like one of the best inserts ever made. So 48,800 right there. And I wanted to highlight this Wemby because a lot of these, yeah. So Wemby with the alien logo or drawing here. I love it. I love it. Now, this card's in a BGS 9.5 holder. It's tempting to call it a superfractor. It is not. It's called a foil fractor. I did some research on the set at one point that I remember pretty well here. And that is, so this is that Mercury set that's like all Wemby. And he signed just so much stuff for this product, guys. And it's easy to get lost in it. But this is one of the best cards in the whole product, and I'll tell you why. So they made I think there's 10 cards in the set. And each of the 10 cards has like all of these different variations that are numbered low, that are numbered higher. And I think if I remember right, there are, and you have to check my math on this on the top site, but I think there's 300 of each of the 10 Wemby cards across all variations. So there's like ones out of, I don't know what the highest is, if it's 50 or 40 or 100, I don't know what it is. There's 300 total. You add all of them together, and there's one of one. And the one of one, there's 10. So there's 10 cards in the set. There's 300 of each of them total across all. I think it's 300. And there's one of one for each of the 10. Wemby took his time on each of the 10. He did, this alien here. There's some other ones that he drew, like different things. And the cards are really cool. I haven't seen one in hand, but based on the images, I think that this card is going to be pretty awesome in hand. If you can find a video, that would be cool. But I do believe it's going to be pretty cool in hand. And I've sort of thought this for a while. I think that, as we move away from this non-licensed world into the licensed world, people have to look back and say, well, what Wemby rookie do I want the most? And for some people, it's going to be like a Prism card because they don't care about the autographs. But if you do care about autographs and you do want game-used patches, if you want both those things, you kind of have to go non-licensed. This card makes you forget a little bit that it's not NBA licensed. It's easy to miss that. And given he's this sort of like one of the most focused on guys right now, I think that's a good, interesting card to watch long term. Okay, then we have there's so much to talk about on this golden auction. It is insane. But we're going to move on to the weekly and just briefly touch on it because we get manga at the top again. Manga stuff's getting bid a lot of bids and a lot of early bids on manga stuff right now. Dual autograph at Finest. PSA 7 on the Messi. I love this Jordan. I've always loved it. The All-Star jersey card. Kobe with Zion and their only dual autograph card. And you can scroll down and see there's a lot of big stuff ending on the Golden Weekly this week as well. Oh, and then this one that we didn't get to touch on. So this card sold. I wonder if it's a relist. Let's go look. Kobe 2014 Noir. It was, I believe, the most expensive Noir card ever when it sold. Okay, so there it is, $64,000, and it was listed 5 months ago. So somebody listed it and selling it right away. Buying opportunity, but the market's so far up. That'll be an interesting one to compare. So it was, there's a few Noir cards that have sold for more. My bad. Wemby's Logo Man has sold twice for more than the Kobe. And then the Messi autograph from September sold for $122,000. And from October of 2023, it sold for just more. So this is the 5th most expensive Noir card ever. And why do I care so much about this? It's because I own one of the other two. Okay. So I'm sort of looking at this for me and looking at it for you guys at the same time. So sold for $64,050. You can see it's the same card. And it was 5 months ago. And it's still here in Card Ladders. I believe it was paid for. 5 months is a long time. The reason I say, well, what was it paid for, is when you see something quickly relisted, you have to ask, was that paid for the first time? I would guess this one has been, but I don't know it. I would guess that somebody is just listing it again real quick, but the market's so up in that time. So what do we see happen? I'm not sure. I think mine's one of 3, I think. I'll tell you 3 or 4 things that I love about this card. It's from 2014, which is both Kobe's, I mean, he's still playing at this point, and it's the first year of Noir. So that's cool. It's a really cool card in hand. It's mostly black and white, which makes the blue, white, and red tag really stand out. It also makes the holofoil hints really nice. This is holofoil down here, and this is holofoil up here. It looks better out of a Beckett holder. Mine is also in a Beckett holder. Mine's an 8.5, but I'm the one who got it graded. It was raw, and it was better looking when it was raw. It was. It's a really nice looking card, raw. I had somebody say to me at one point, and this is a little cheesy and a little strange, so forgive me, but he said it's kind of like Kobe's playing Hooping in the Clouds, and I sort of think of it as like the Hooping in the Clouds with Kobe card. The beautiful autograph, great looking Logoman tag off the laundry tag, great image of Kobe down to the knees, right? Knees all the way up. It's not a real logo, man. And so it's not going to cost you, it's not going to be it's not a 7-figure card. It's not, something crazy like that, but it's probably the next best thing. Some people would say, well, no, it's not a 1 of 1 either. That's true. It's not a 1 of 1. I own one. Philip Gauze owns the other, unless he sold his. I would be pretty surprised if he sold his. I think this is the 3rd copy. So maybe I'm wrong about Philip. Maybe he sold his, but I would guess his is still deep in his collection. Mine's still deep in mine. And if that's the case, if I'm right about that, then here's your one that you get a chance at for the second time. How will it sell compared to how it sold last time is the question. And that is what I will be watching. All right, Fanatics Collect. Let's take a second on Fanatics Collect. Okay, let us finish off with Fanatics Collect and then a moment with both Alt and Card Hobby. Fanatics Collect every week has a crazy auction. And if you look at the total number of auctions, you're going to go, yep, that's crazy every single week. And so it's just a reminder, this is like the briefest of brief tastes of what is in the auction. It is some of the stuff that's at the very top, some of the stuff that's been bid up over the course of the first, 4 or 5 days that the cards have been listed. But I'll very often, we'll get to the end of the week, we'll look at the stuff that's sold and we'll go, oh, I didn't even get to that card when we were doing the preview. So I would always recommend you take a long time with the Fanatics Collect weekly auction. There's some good deals to be had. There are some giant cards that are just sitting in the middle of the auction. About 2 years ago now, I found my KG07 Chrome Superfractor sitting in the middle of the auction, and I was shocked. I was very glad that was a week that I hadn't done my top 10 post, and it was before I started doing this because I just think people didn't know about it, and I think I got really lucky. And so that does happen sometimes. So you've got to do the diligence, but starting here with me is probably a good way to go. So $29,000 at this point for a BGS 9.5 MJ rookie. The Shohei Blue pitching in a 9.5 out of 150. The Shohei Gold non-refract or non-autograph in a PSA 10. That's a very interesting card. That'll be an interesting one to watch. Which of those 2 cards would you rather have? There's like 3 variables here. Do you want pitching? Do you want hitting? Do you want autograph? Do you want non-autograph? Do you want BGS 9.5 or do you want PSA 10? Which of these 2 cards sells for more would be really interesting. Number to 150, number to 50. Another Shohei. This one's a gold refractor, also non-autographed, out of 2018 Topps Chrome while he's pitching. A Jordan Duncan Go Nuts. Doesn't look that yellow. It's not totally clear, but a lot clearer than a lot of the ones we've seen. But it's a PSA 10. One of the other 2004 Messi's, the one that looks like an autograph but isn't. 12,500 on a PSA 10 right now. Big time noise boys here. Gold dart downtown. Interesting dual color blast of Clay and Steph. I really like that card. Aesthetically, I really like that card. Mookie Gold, number /50. A Tom Brady with the gem mint grade and 10 auto. Ooh, that's interesting. Pop 1 of 4. It's an interesting auction to watch. Might be a fun one to see how that one goes down. Wall and Beal, two of the great Wizards of years past. $7,200. How crazy is it that we had those great Wizards teams and Wall's long gone now, and Beal just looks like a shell of himself? Still a very cool card. It commemorates some of those really good Wizards teams. This has got to be a PSA 10 for being this high. Yep, 1993 Dynamic Dunks. And then one of really like two of my favorite Jordans. I mean, I like all three of these cards, but two of my favorite Jordan cards out there: the black label, or excuse me, the black from the final year of Jordan's career, the 02 Chrome. This is the rarest parallel they made that year. Believe it or not, Chrome did not have a rarer parallel than black in 2002. And then a card that I think I actually like even more than it, though. I love the 95 gold medallion. I love it because the whole card is gold and it's really sensitive. And so a PSA 10 on that's a big deal. Big deal card. Skeens out of 50. MJ and a 10. Boy, that'll be a big deal. What have those sold for in the past? I want to check that real quick. Beam Team Jordan 1992 PSA 10. 13 grand on a buy it now. 12 grand on auction. 11 grand on auction. Those are the last three. So this one's already at $6,500. It is the regular. It's not the members only. That'll be a fun one to watch, guys. That'll be a really fun one to watch. Obviously, Big Tiger, Banchero, number to 99. I love this year's Flawless. The Luka's fantastic. Let's do at least one more page. Kaboom Messi, Noise Boys Kobe and a 9. Another big Flawless Luka. The variation on the photo variation on the Steph, and it's a pulsar, so it's like sort of like a double variation, but it's still a gold prism, and it is pristine. $5,200. Chrome refractor Kobe with LeBron. I love this Brady. I do. I like it a lot. It's just not expensive, and it's a PSA 10. What's the pop on that? I gotta look at that real quick, actually. Let me do. On that one, I'm going to go to gem rate, actually. So if we go to gem rate, I'm just going to type in universal search, and I'm going to go Tom Brady press pass autograph. And if we just do that, we get a universal pop report of 833. So 833 have been graded, but check this out, guys. It's actually a pretty rare rookie Brady. And I really thought about it before because I can't remember the last time I saw a PSA 10 sell of this card. But that's an interesting card. 33 total. I really like it. Vertical. This one's got a really nice, well-preserved autograph on it. It's really nice. That's going to be one to watch. Ooh, a Michael Irvin green, arguably his best card in existence. Take-It-To.net Shaq and a PSA 10 is that high. Wow. Well into the thousands at this point. Take-It-To.net used to be sort of considered like a mid-tier whatever insert, but you get one in high grade these days. Even if guys that aren't Jordan, then you'll see a big number. Okay, that's it for Fanatics Collect for their weekly. Let's look just at the top of alt. 3 gold prisms right at the top. The famous LeBron James, we talked about this one earlier, but the fact that this one's 1 of 10. This is interesting. You've got this. What would you rather have, this or the Kaboom Gold? BGS 9.5. I'd way rather have this, and I think the Kaboom's going to win. That's how crazy Kabooms are right now. I'd way rather have this. Numbered 1 of 10. First to market in 3 years in a 10. Kobe's 2013 gold prism, number 6 of 10, PSA 10. I think there's 4 or 5 of these, so not the toughest grade, but probably his second best year of gold prisms. And then the Mahomes, and then a couple of kabooms, including a really big Brady and a PSA 10 Montana. We'll stop there for alt because we're low on time. Card Hobby, autograph patches all over the place. Obviously, check out this Steph right here with the tag. Check out the duel with Rodman and Jordan. Next one down, there's a really interesting Wemby in this auction, by the way. Oh, I almost missed it. Look at this impeccable. We're going to spend some time looking at that one in just a second. Big Maxi right here. Star Swatch signature. I love this D-Well CP3. People will always forget, but you won't if you were there. These two were so competitive going at each other, and having the dual inscription right there is very cool. They were so competitive. Love this LeBron. Wish he signed his name in addition to the inscription. Love this T-Mac, one of his best cards in existence. That actually ends tonight or today. That's an interesting one to watch. 21 hours from now, I guess, is tomorrow morning for most of us. So I shouldn't say today. And then I wanted to look at here in Card Hobby. Wanted to check out. Oh, it's taking too long. I wanted to show you guys this Wemby. Click on it again, see if that makes any difference. Well, here we go. Impeccable. And Impeccable has draft numbers. He was drafted number 1 overall, so he gets 1 card. So cool. Not a parallel or anything. It's just that's that. And it says 2022-23 copyright date on the back, but that's a little bit weird because he wasn't a rookie until 2023. So that's interesting. So they got the wrong date on their own card. Not great, Panini. And then finally, I guess we didn't really count down all the cards this week. I guess I didn't really put too many cards off to the side, but there's obviously a lot of stuff at Golden that I really liked. And then the other card that I'm really interested to see what it sells for this week is this Drew Holiday. But we went through Fanatics. We went through Card Hobby. We went through alt. I think that's about it. Guys, I hope you guys, whoa, I do not know what happened there. I hope you guys have a great week. I hope you guys have like many amazing pickups. I always really appreciate you guys watching this. Yeah, please watch every week. Please like, please subscribe, please do all that stuff. And please let me know, like drop a comment. Let me know what you'd like